In today's episode of Manabonded, Nate keeps losing in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2.
Most of the times I've seen it lose were because by some stroke of luck, they didn't get the right flip.
Zack refuses to get bullied by the court judge.
Live and die by the mindset of I don't negotiate with terrorists and just send it and make them have it.
And Josh crashes out at the DMV. This sucks. I'm so mad. Why does this keep happening? I just want to get this done and over with. This has already been 3 hours of my day. Hello everyone and welcome to Manabonded, the best Magic the Gathering advice show within a 300-inch radius of your local game store. My name is Josh, I'm your host, and I'm joined by Nate and Zach, my co-hosts. Say hey guys.
Hey guys, can you bring me some snacks? This 300-inch radius doesn't leave me much places to eat.
Sorry.
300-inch radius? Is this specifically when they're listening to us or just in general? Because what if they have a cooler podcast that they like more?
Wouldn't you like to know, radius? Weather boy?
This weather boy would like to know.
Well, get in line, because that and many more questions will be answered today. So, we had an interesting weekend for you guys. You guys went and did a tournament at the Gem State Con. What is it called again?
Verdant something?
It was part of a whole convention, though, wasn't it? The tournament.
Let me pull it up because I got it. I sent it to our friend Thomas because he hadn't heard about it till 2 weeks beforehand, which was kind of funny.
Yeah,
I think he just waits for people to tell him things. I'm like, you should get on the Boise CDH list and go through that.
It is the Verdant Vault Gem State CDH.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the Gem State convention, gaming convention is what the convention was.
Okay, Gem State Gaming Convention is just all they called it?
Well, that's the convention, and then it was the Verdant Vault CDH event.
Right. Okay, so each of you guys went along with a couple friends. How did you all do?
Got wrecked, son.
Yeah, it did not go well for either of us. The one game I should have won, I drew because I was basically in a position to win. And then the player across from me, that's a last-ditch effort to do something, grinding stationed, tapped it, and sacrificed his tapped arcane signet to mill me 3 cards. And I had already gone through combat, so I was trying to win instant speed on my main phase 2. And the only line I really have there is my Fairy Mastermind loops to win instant speed.
Sure.
And the 2 cards that got milled at the exact same 3 mill iteration were Endurance and Shifting Woodland, which are the only 2 cards that I needed to or could use to win.
Absolutely brutal.
A little rough, but sometimes it just happens that way.
That sucks.
It is. For me, in my game 2, I got a pop off with Zelix on the upkeep of player seat 1's turn. Proceeded to have 37 different triggers for Zelix.
Dang.
Yeah, it was nuts. I played Mesmeric Orb. He untapped, milled 5. After he milled 3, he hit a creature. Then, in a triple Thrasios pod, we just proceeded to go. Downside with that, though, was he had a culling ritual in hand from turn 1.
Uh-oh.
So he ended up with 90-something mana because a player seat 4 in my pod decided to copy my Zelix.
Oh man!
Which would have been great if we didn't get culling ritualed. Because if we didn't get culling ritualed, everybody would have been dead on my turn if he didn't have his own horrors.
Yeah, that is brutal.
Yeah,
other than that game, though,
that's probably the best culling ritual hit you could ever have. That's a wet dream level of culling ritual. You're like, I have so much mana. This is my life.
He was like, I am in hell as we're resolving my triggers. And then the rest of us sat there and twiddled our thumb for 6-7 minutes while he's just activate Thrasios, activate Thrasios,
brutal,
activate
dude.
Thrasios, activate Thrasios. So yeah, it was.
Now we are in hell.
Yeah, it was rough. But it was all good. Like, had to go for it. Unfortunately, every other game I played in, they ended before turn 4, aside from the last one. The last one lasted a long time.
It
Yeah,
was a vibe.
It was a vibe.
because you guys were
Although
in
we
that
did-
last pod together, right?
Yeah, we did have a funny situation in that one where after I had played Mind Crank, Zack hit the seat 1 with Fairy Mastermind and proceeded to mill Thassa's Oracle Demonic Consultation.
Ooh.
Literally that
Organically
order.
right next to each other. Organically next to each other.
Oh man.
It's
That
like,
was
oh,
hilarious.
like if I was not in that pod, he probably would have won that game with that setup, unless Zack had interaction.
100%.
That
I did
sucks.
not. It was funny.
It was,
and then
it was so funny.
we were all making, because we're very much professionals. We were making cranking it jokes the whole time,
As
because
one
yeah,
does.
thing.
'Cause,
So
you know,
yeah, we
gotta
cranked
mind
it
crank.
and lost Thassa's Oracle and Demonic. So good times. Then I played a Consecrated Sphinx, which got bounced shortly after, and then a Orcish Bowmaster came down to prevent me from wanting to play it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Zack played the Consecrated Sphinx. I'm like, I want to draw more cards, and I don't want Zack to draw a bunch of cards. So I into the Flood mod his Consecrated Sphinx because he used mana drain mana to cast it. So I'm like, it'll be harder for him to recast it. He'll have to commit more resources to see if he does it the next time. And then I'm like, okay, cool. I top deck Orcish Bowmasters. I'm like, sick. Play Orcish Bowmasters, kill his Fairy Mastermind. So if he gets going, then we're both drawing some cards. I can ping stuff with Orcish Bowmasters. Then Zack, you did.
I tutored for a clever impersonator to copy his Orcish Bowmasters, obviously, and then killed his Orcish Bowmaster,
As you do.
as one does.
Yeah. And then on my next turn, I tutored for Reanimate and reanimated my Orcish Bowmasters to kill his Orcish Bowmasters. And then like 2 turns later, Zack.
Yeah, I play another clone and copy his Bowmaster again. It's just Bowmaster after Bowmaster after Bowmaster. And then the player who had milled the Thassa's Oracle and Demonic Consultation literally used Professional Facebreaker, like sacrificing a treasure to reveal top card, and it was an Orcish Bowmaster.
No.
And unfortunately, he had cast an artifact he couldn't use anymore because the Loomer player played Collector Oof.
Yeah.
So if he didn't play that, he would have been able to play his own Orcish Bowmaster.
No.
First, it was a Fairy Mastermind show.
It was a Fairy Mastermind
show. Turned into a Bowmaster show.
Yeah.
So,
because I didn't get my Fairy Mastermind naturally. I Phyrexian metamorphed, copying Zack's Fairy Mastermind.
Yeah.
Man, that Consecrated Sphinx was going to be so good, though. That was
Dude,
What's going to be so good? That's why I had to tell you no.
2 Fairy Masterminds to instantly draw me like 8 cards.
Oh,
yeah.
Come on.
It's
every
like
turn cycle.
I hadn't
Every
realized
turn
it,
cycle.
but the new King T'Challa card is kind of gross.
That reminds me. Did you see the Play to Win
I did.
episode?
I did.
Yeah. Play to Win they did their standard thing where a new set comes out. They're like, let's try and make CDH out of this. And King T'Challa was doing work in that game.
Yeah. King T'Challa is crazy because it's not just whenever an opponent draws their second card, it's whenever a player draws their second card. So it turns your second card into a third card. And on top of that is also a Fairy Mastermind effect, which is good.
Yeah. I don't know if the backside is super relevant.
No, the backside sucks. But
yeah,
the
overall,
front side is
tournament was a ton of fun.
Yeah.
Tournament was a ton of fun. We had a friend or two who all made it to the top 10. We have one friend who went straight to finals because he was winning that much. So that was cool. Thomas, our resident Atali player, was able to make top 10.
Oh, Thomas.
He was third place.
Yeah, third place. He almost had the cut to top 4 for free. But
yeah, almost.
But then I did end up the one who made it to the finals. We were talking before, and we're like, hey, whatever I win, if I get to like top cut, I'm gonna have you sign it. And so luckily I didn't have to sign a Grim Monolith, but I did sign and scribble on a Mox Amber for him. So
nice. Nice. Yeah, I think
the
you
Brothers
sent that
Wars retro artifact.
That is really cool. Yeah, my weekend was pretty hectic. We had I would say if I had a nickel for every time this year I went to a baby shower within a day of the same parents' wedding, I would have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but
Oh,
it's weird that it's happened twice to me this year.
that is,
Um,
yeah, kind of weird that
yeah,
happened twice.
like 2 weeks ago, a really good friend of ours, she texted my wife and said, "Hey, you guys are coming for the baby shower, right?" And we're like, "Absolutely, we're going to be there." You know, my wife was helping plan it. It was going to be great. And she's like, "Well, what about the day before? Are you going to be there Friday?" And we're like, "I don't know, maybe not." And she said, "What if I told you we're getting married that day?" And we're like, "Okay, so we'll be there." We drove up Thursday night, and then Friday we went down, and they just got a quick courthouse wedding. They've like with the baby shower, they've got a baby on the way, and they just figured it's easier to just get it done and over with in case there's complications. You don't want to have to fill out a ton of forms. It's just simpler to just go get it done. And so
Right.
the wedding was just quick. It was just a little courthouse thing. They said some cute vows, and then the baby shower went really well. Yeah, it's a long weekend. And then Sunday, you will see this coming up and we'll talk more about it in a bit, but I went and I was a guest on somebody else's magic show. Maybe we'll talk about that more at the end.
What? What? That's crazy.
Our keen listeners might be able to figure it out, but
Yes, they have been here with us and we decided to trade, so I got to be the first one to go visit with them. So,
yeah.
other than that, though, in other interesting news, I almost died today.
Oh,
And it's probably not
That's
too
not
much of
good.
an exaggeration to say it. So, for those of you who may not know, I work in manufacturing. I work with CNC machines, aluminum milling machines. We mill various aluminum parts. I was setting up a new job. I was, getting the machine programmed up to run the specific part. I was getting the jaws for the vise installed so that it could hold the part the way we needed it to. Because the way this one works is it's just a thin bar of aluminum. We set it down on one side, it mills out half of it, and then I flip it over, and some specially cut jaws can hold what we've already cut and do the second half over top of it. So it creates a finished
Okay.
product.
Okay.
So I am working on it, and the first piece goes through, and unfortunately, the jaws in the second phase fail. And it falls out a little bit. And I'm like, oh, that's super annoying. So I look at it, I try to diagnose it, and I'm like, maybe I just need to try a different set of jaws because there was like 3 or 4 different options I could use. So I try a different set. Same problem occurs. It just kind of falls out of the jaws. And I'm like, this sucks. I'm so mad. Why does this keep happening? Like, I just want to get this done and over with. This has already been like 3 hours of my day. So I switch back to the original jaws, which I had the engineers look at, and the engineers were like, yeah, this should be fine. This should do it for you. Just make these adjustments to the machine and it should run. And I'm like, okay. So I plug it back in and I'm listening, I'm watching, and then the piece starts to wiggle a little bit, and I'm like, oh man. And then I hear a pop and I feel something hit my stomach. And I'm now sending you two the photo of
Oh
the
no.
aftermath.
uh-oh.
So the front of these machines is glass so we can
Oh.
view, and it's specifically
Oh,
some
nice.
very intense safety glass. Two about
Yep.
1/8 inch pane or 1/4 inch panes of glass with some plastic in between tempered. The part was thrown from the jaws into the window with enough force to shatter the glass on both sides of the impact. The only thing that survived was the plastic in between. And the impact I felt was all of the glass firing off of the piece and hitting me in the stomach. And I was like right up against the machine, guys. I was like eyes forward watching this piece, making sure it was going to stay. So when it threw,
Yeah.
I felt that. And my brain just could not react fast enough to realize what had happened. I heard the pop. I knew the window had shattered and I had felt something on my stomach. And so my brain immediately went to, congratulations, you now have a giant hunk of aluminum in your stomach.
You
And
have
so
been promoted to death.
it's like I have been promoted to the afterlife. I look down
Yeah.
and there's nothing. I'm completely unscathed. I am safe. And I'm like, oh, holy crap. And I like back up from the machine at this point, you know, shock leaving my body. And I'm like backing up. I shut the machine down and I look over and like two of like upper management were there. A couple engineers saw it. And one guy walks by and he just looks at the window, looks at me and goes, "You want a new pair of pants, man?" And I'm like, "I'm good."
Yeah.
So, long story short, we have to replace the window. We didn't have any windows in the shop, so we're getting a new one in tomorrow. And I don't think I'm going to keep setting that job up tomorrow. I'm going to let somebody else do that. Because
Maybe take a little bit of time.
That was horrifying. To put it in perspective, for some reason on my shift, since I've worked at this job, crap like this only ever happens on my shift, but it's never been me. Like, second day I worked there, this happened to a different machine. We were working on longer, like really long rectangle of a piece of aluminum, and they were arranged perpendicular to the front doors, so it was just a straight shot. And the first tool path comes down, starts spinning, and it ended up firing one of the pieces through the window. And it was crazy. Like, second day, the guy who was at the machine, he wasn't affected. He was like nowhere near it, so it went past him. But we all just look at the hole in the machine and go, "Holy crap. Okay, all right, nobody touched that machine now. We are done with that machine." Yep. And from then on, whenever we ran that program, they rotated that portion of the machining 90 degrees. So if it ever happened again, it would shoot out the sides, not where anybody is.
Not where anyone actually is. Yeah.
Exactly.
Good plan.
We had another one where a girl who was only like a month in, she forgot to remove sort of an excess piece. Because sometimes what we'll do is, say we've got like a 4-inch tall part, we'll machine it out of a 5-inch tall block of aluminum, and then that bottom inch is just used to kind of hold it in place and keep the tools away from the jaws, and then we'll kind of cut it super thin so you can break it off with your hand. And then when you put it into the next section, next operation, you have to break that off by hand before starting the machine. Well, this new person forgot to do that. Part got thrown, shattered a window, not as badly, but broke it. She thought she was going to get fired straight up. She was like, "Holy crap, I've lost my job. This is over for me." And I just had to laugh it off. I'm like, "You're going to be fine. This happens all the time. Unfortunately, you're okay." Yeah, we just have crap break all the time on my shift, and I don't know why. And this is the first time it's been my fault. So.
Well, it also sounds like it wasn't really your fault. It just happened to be with your machine.
Machinery.
Yeah, it was. Whew, I'll tell you, I was awake after that for a little bit. That was a little scary.
Yeah, I can imagine. I'm gonna have to say, Joshua, could you please put an incarnation counter on your 9 lives card, please?
Exactly.
I think you lost one there.
Oh, hang on. How am I up
for
to?
Sure.
How many am I up to then? At least 2.
You only get 9. So.
Yeah, I think I've used up 2 then, because the other one I used up when I was whitewater rafting for sure.
Yeah.
Do you remember that trip, Zach? You were there.
I do remember.
Yeah,
Good
we were whitewater rafting back in our Boy Scout days, and I fell out of the raft right as we bounced over the huge rock in the middle of the rapids, like class 4 rapids. Just dropped right behind this rock where all the water was just swirling downward. I fell right there and got stuck for what felt like an hour. It was like maybe 30 seconds, but it felt terrible.
It feels a lot longer.
Yeah, I think that was my first life used up. So now I've got 7 more I can play with.
Something like that.
I think you're good.
All right, we're good.
Time.
We're good. I got time.
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
Just harmless offering it away.
Exactly. All right. Well, we are a advice show here, so we are here to answer your questions, and we have some great hypotheticals, some great situations that have happened to some people that we want to help them out with. So, you guys ready to get to it?
Absolutely.
We're tuning it up.
All right. This first question comes from username Addiction Friction 2. That is a strange username, but I'm going to assume it's a sequel.
Original Addiction Friction.
I'm wondering what he's Addiction Friction 2.
Oh, it's magic.
Well, what is the addiction of? That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right. So, Addiction Friction 2 says, "What would you do in my shoes? Questions surrounding a tiebreaker scenario and the LGS ruling." So, to start for info, I have been attending this LGS for draft for about a month or so. First and foremost, I am aware that, technically speaking, If after the 5th turn at the end of the round timer, the game ends in a draw. That is one way to proceed, and that is totally fine. However, as I'm sure many of you know, sometimes stores will allow, though they're not supposed to, I guess, they will allow to determine their own tiebreaker methods, basically to ensure somebody gets that extra pack. Now, that can be anything from rolling dice to rock, paper, scissors, could be anything agreed upon by the players. I am also okay with this. But here is where things get tricky. As mentioned, I have been drafting for a month. Every time two players have had a tiebreaker situation, it was always resolved by rock, paper, scissors. Again, is that a legal rule? Probably not. Is it mutually agreed upon by the players? Absolutely. However, at Marvel pre-release last night, I played against a store's employee. We go to turns and we move through the process, basically stalemate board states, but she does happen to get 1 point of damage in. I even had removal and removed her blockers, and very well could have gotten 5 points of damage in before turn 5, but I chose to keep blockers up. We get to the end of turn 5, and then she asks her boss, the store manager, "Oh, hey, tiebreakers are by life total, right?" At which I'm flabbergasted. To me, that seems like a house rule, and a very big house rule, especially during pre-release with new players, to have never mentioned until after the game has ended. It also completely changed how I would have declared attacks and blockers. It is also antithetical to the entire time I've been drafting week to week. Now, I chose to just calm myself and not fight it. It's a casual pre-release event, but at the same time, we are competing for financial value, sort of, in the form of a pack. Would you fight this ruling? How would you have handled it? Would you talk to the store manager and tell me your thoughts? Okay.
So earlier in the post, he talks about how it's supposed to be decided, like it's been decided by the players themselves, how tiebreakers go.
Yeah.
So
There's a lot of weird steps to what happened here.
also, I'm not a fan of this. If you don't win, it's a draw, unless one person decides they want to give it to the other person.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
That's
official rules,
mine for it.
Addiction Friction is correct here. Official rules of Wizards of the Coast is that at the end of the 5th turn, if no winner has been determined, then the game is a draw. Doesn't matter life
Yep.
totals, doesn't matter board state, doesn't matter, I would have had you on my next turn. It's a draw. This is to incentivize people holding out to get that extra point and to live, right? So already you guys are playing wrong. I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with saying it can be rock, paper, scissors. I would just caution any store, any Wizards Play Network store specifically, where they're trying to run official events. I would caution them against doing something like a rock, paper, scissors or a highest life total wins sort of situation. Because if you go against the tournament rules and the organized play rules, you can end up in a lot of trouble.
Pretty sure it legitimately says in the rules that you can't do that, but
Yeah.
I'm not 100%. I haven't looked at it in a while.
I know that you're not allowed to choose a random way of determining the winner. I think there's something against, like, you have to have, like, there has to be some deterministic way, or some predictable way. I don't quite remember the rulings, but yeah, you can't just change it, though, is the biggest thing here. Where it's been for the longest time, you guys are all like, "Oh, we're gonna just rock, paper, scissors," right? 2 out of 3 to determine draws, and we'll agree to whoever loses the rock, paper, scissors concedes and gives the game to the other player. That, that's one thing. But then for the store employee to just be like, actually, hey, we do highest life total now, right? And somehow they went with it? I'm confused on what happened here.
Yeah, that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Because like I've had so many games where I have like 1 life total left and I still win. Like life total doesn't matter because there's opportunities where lower life total doesn't matter, you still win. But so life total is not really a necessary like determinating factor of like winning or losing necessarily. Because like even if you're in a stalemate spot, like there's no way that you could get past anything. And because I took 1 damage early in the game when I didn't have a blocker or something, that shouldn't be the reason I lose like the match. But I do think like each player, if they decide to do like a rock, paper, scissors thing like on their own, and then just be like, okay, cool, whoever wins will take the win. Like then the other player can just say they conceded instead. So That's still an option that the players themselves can do, but the store shouldn't be advocating for that.
Yeah.
Right. I'm wondering because I've seen there's actually like another card game that has a rule where it's like the highest wins at the end of turns. I'm trying to see if it's Lorcana, but it's I'm pretty sure it's like a thing with like another card game I played. Not entirely sure which one is off the top of my head, but that one is at the end of turns, whoever has the most of this thing wins. So they might just be confused with another card game.
Yeah, maybe. I'm doing some digging here, and I'm finding this thread about determine some people asking the same question, like, "Hey, what do you do to handle the match result if you go to turns, but there's no winner, right?" And this person says that you can only determine the winner of a match of Magic by playing Magic. Barring end of time and single elimination with timed rounds, it's a draw if both players have won an equal amount of games. Using some other method, dice, rock, paper, scissors, looking at the next card, is actually a much worse penalty. And in somebody quoted the rules, it's actually a match loss if you are to do that, if you are to suggest it.
At least for comp levels.
Yeah, but this is for the match as a whole.
Yeah, that's with this whole question. I'm like, this is kind of sketch. It's a thing where it's like, all right, guys, and it's kind of just how the shop operates. As long as they ain't hurting nobody, I don't really care. But it's also a thing where if you have specifically employees messing around with how this works, then you might have some other issues on your hands.
Yeah, it's very interesting to
I think
hear
what
this
gets
story.
me the most is it's a pre-release. Like,
Yeah,
the store employee shouldn't care as much as like somebody who's there to participate. I mean, the store employee might not be on shift and just planning to play.
yeah,
Yeah,
Like, I don't know. If I was a store employee, I would just say, "Oh, all good. If you want to take the win, you can take the win." Like, I
yeah.
feel like that would be like I can get packs whenever at a discounted rate. So like I don't know, and it's only the pack. It's not that big of a deal, and it's a pre-release for a new set to like help get people to the store. So like I don't know, it just feels like a feel bad moment of like maybe just give it to the person who doesn't work there, you know?
yeah.
That is fair.
Just a tough situation. I think I would have probably been pushed a little bit more against your opponent and said, hey, I thought we do rock paper scissors to determine the tiebreaker here. And if they push back and say, oh no, it's always been life total, I would maybe talk to the players next to me or who might be watching, because if you're getting to the end of turns, other players are watching you for sure.
Yeah.
So I would go to them and be like, don't we always do rock, paper, scissors, and hopefully get some of them on your side? If you've magically been transported to a slightly alternate universe where the only difference is these guys do highest life total instead of rock, paper, scissors, I don't know what to tell you, man. That's kind of on you, but there's nothing more you can do about this. This sucks for sure.
You got to tell me how you figured that out and teach me, because that'd be pretty cool to be able to slide between slightly different parallel universes.
Right. I want to go to a universe where the pack I opened actually had something good in it.
I want to go to the
Yeah.
universe where I'm smaller, where I'm shorter. I want to be short.
I will
what
trade
it's
you
like.
so fast. I have already determined that, like, if some horrible accident occurs and I lose my legs, when I get the prosthetics, I will ask that they make me at least 3 inches taller.
That's funny.
You basically have like stilts.
That is the most reasonable way I will get taller at this point, is if I lose my legs and decide, hey, can you make me taller? But I have to lose both of them for that to work.
You got pretty close with the work incident you just had.
I know. I ended up almost Darth Mauling
a little
myself.
bit lower, and
yeah,
you know, Darth Mauling yourself. Never thought Darth Maul would be a verb.
Anything can verb if you try hard enough.
You give it the proper
At least he'll come back
context.
from the dead, right?
Yeah, he just didn't die.
Yeah, no, just fell in a hole. Should have died, but
nothing
force
really
magic and
kills
whatnot.
you in Star Wars. You can always come
Fall
Space
back.
damage
wizards.
isn't in Star Wars. Star Wars doesn't have fall damage.
True.
No fall damage. Has oxygen in space.
I mean, the Emperor fell down a tube and he's still alive. So I mean,
Somehow.
Somehow he returned.
Yep.
yeah, somehow he returned.
Oh,
That's the
man.
most hand wavy line I think I've ever heard in a movie.
Oh, it's such a brutal line to just be like, yeah, somehow. And it's like, what do you
Somehow.
mean somehow?
Tell me, please. I want to know how he came back. His hatred for the Force. I don't know. Like, give me anything at this point.
If they just went with like more of the clone thing, it would have made more sense.
Literally.
Man, all these courses have divots every 10 feet. Yeah, and we're partnered up with an unhinged control player. Do you pay the one to tee off? I wish I had a course that was just so exclusive, so well kept that I could eat off of the green. Well, now you can by joining Kedis's Hidden Holes Golf Club. Wait, who the hell are you? Hi, I'm Kedis. You may know me from my myriad of various business adventures, political offices held, and galas I hold on my private estate. Okay, why are you here, and why is there microphones and other reporting men around? I'm glad you asked, Dave. My name is Bill. You see, Dave, with a small contribution of $250,000, you and any of our listeners can join my private golf course. A course where divots are a thing of the past. A course where you only golf with people you want to be with. At Kedis's Hidden Holes Golf Club, you are in full control of your experience, and my staff will do whatever they can to achieve that end. We employ over 500 different people whose only job it is to make sure you're happy. We have personal servers to deliver cold drinks and maybe a mid-hole snack. You even get your own personal caddy to carry your clubs and other equipment. Whatever is needed, we're happy to help make happen. Well, that's great and all, but why are you here while I'm trying to tee off? New members who sign up and provide me with dirt on my political rival, Leovold, will get a free 1-month membership. That's a wrap! Wait, all of this was to help you get dirt on your political rivals? Alright, Bill, I don't care. Here's a day pass, stay out of my way. It's good until next month. Oh, well, thank you. I guess, wait, where did he go? Kedis's Hidden Holes Golf Club, where all your golfing dreams come true. Wait, who the hell is talking?
Alright, you guys ready for the second question here?
Let's do it.
Alright, this question comes from the r/EDH subreddit from username BeakF. I imagine that's a sequel to Rush E. So, they titled their post, Stack Negotiations. And they ask, has anyone else ever been in a situation where somebody obviously has interaction, like a counterspell or something, against a creature with an enter the battlefield target, but asks what the enter the battlefield target is, or says that they won't counter it if the controller picks a different target? Obviously, politics is part of Commander, but is there any way to play around this type of interaction besides lying? If you say you won't tell them, it clearly expresses your intentions. Do you just eat the interaction and hope they can't hold it over everyone else's head? From my point of view, it feels a little lame for someone to threaten interaction, but using it would hinder them against the other two players, so I understand why. How do you make it so they have to determine if a play is a threat rather than you identifying it for them without ruining political aspects? That's a good question.
There's a couple of ways to go about this.
What are your methods, Zach?
Live and die by the mindset of I don't negotiate with terrorists, and just send it and make them have it. Make them have it.
Yep. Yeah, because they could be bluffing here. It's very possible they're bluffing here, and to which you just say, all right, then do it.
Yeah, just make them have it.
I think for me, it's also like, show me. If we're playing CDH, show me. I'll take a peek at the card you got that you're supposedly going to use against me.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting because like one of the things, like in their defense, the best counterspell is the one you don't have to use, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The best counterspell is always the one you don't have to use. So, and as the OP, the player, the person who made the comment, it's also the best spell is the one that doesn't get countered as well.
Yep.
Realistically, it's probably best to play into the politics unless there's specifically like an absolute reason why you have to hit their target. Because like obviously if you can still get your thing to resolve, and that's pushing your game plan forward, you should do that. Even if you don't have to hit the specific target you wanted to hit, but you're still getting it to resolve.
Yeah. Yeah, you just, if they're gonna threaten you and tell you, hey, you have to tell me what that's gonna target or I'm gonna counter it, honestly, I would just tell them, no, I don't have to. Like, I don't have to tell you my targets before we get to that step. And if you would like to counter it, you need to make that decision before we reach that. It's like stack bullying, basically. Like trying
Yeah.
to control ahead of where the stack actually is right now, right? You're trying to gain information and trying to push them to tell you things that aren't necessarily needing to be revealed yet. So I really like the mentality of just do it, coward. If they're gonna threaten you with a counter spell, then you just tell them, do it, counter it. And when they don't, you call them a coward and you move on with your turn. Seriously,
You're
there's
just like priority. All right, resolves ETB, and be like coward.
yeah, just like push past it. Just say, hey, do you have an action? Like I'm casting this spell, like Ravenous Chupacabra destroys a creature on entering the battlefield. I cast this spell. Your opponent goes, hey, what is that going to target one of my? I'm going to counter that if that targets one of my things. So what are you targeting? And you just tell them, we're not there yet. Do you pass priority? Well, no, I want to see what you. We're not there yet. Do you want to pass priority? And if they continue to fight you, if this is a CEDH tournament, especially if they're like really pressuring you to announce your targets before you've gotten to that point and they're not willing to pass priority, you can call a judge there and say, Judge, this player refuses to pass priority for this reason. And the judge will probably tell them, if you don't have an answer right now, if you're not going to do anything, you need to pass priority and stop holding up the game. In a casual game, it's a little trickier to just be like, okay, we're just going to skip you. But in a CEDH game, you can absolutely get a judge to enforce them to either counter your spell or pass priority with no further information given.
Absolutely. Judges are your friend. Always call judges.
Judges are absolutely your friend. Do not cave into pressure like this. If they're trying to determine if what you're playing is a threat, I hate to tell them this, but everything you do is going to be a threat to them. Because everything you do is going to make you win the game, hopefully. And everything they do is trying to let them win the game. So, yeah, everything you do is technically a threat. So, they should counter it. If they're going to have a counter, they should counter it.
Or if, they very well could be just trying to trick you.
Yeah, they may not even have a counter spell, man. Just go for it.
Yeah. Oh, but then you got the flip side. Like I've done the, hey, what are you targeting with that? And they're like, I'll let you know when it resolves. I'm like, cool. If you blow up my thing, there will be consequences, and I will respond. Sometimes it works. Sometimes you have to prove your threats.
When will you learn that your actions have consequences?
No, it's definitely like a play that I think we've all done at some point where you try to threaten somebody and be like, are you going to target my stuff with that? Or are you going to counter my stuff with that? And you like try to bluff, or maybe you really do have interaction to stop it. And if they give you the free information, great. Now you know if you can hold the counter spell or save it. But if they're not willing to give it to you, you've just got to move on. Make your decision and move on.
You have to decide if your board is genuinely the most threatening thing, and if that will target your thing, then you should counter it.
Yeah.
Even if you don't know it's going to necessarily 100% hit your thing, if you believe it is, then countering it's probably the best play in that situation.
Yep. Because you're like, well, you're not telling me, and it's
usually
probably going to hit
it's
me.
coming my way. Yeah, if they're not telling you, it's probably coming right to you.
Yeah.
I'm going to assume it's coming at me now, so let's deal with it and stop it from hitting me.
It's like one of my favorite things to do is like before you like start playing a CDH game, if you see someone in black and you like instantly ask them, "Are you on ad nause?" And if they don't instantly answer no, they're probably on ad nause. And so you should be pushing people to attack them at any opportunity you can.
Yep. I always told people I would sit down with Tyem at the last tournament we did, and they said, oh, this guy's on black, so he's probably running Adnaz. And I would just look at them, and I said, let me give you some advice. I am not on Adnaz, and no TIAM player will ever be on ad nauseam. If they are, you are allowed to, with the full authority of the TIAM Discord behind me, you are allowed to point and laugh at them. Because that is not how you play TIAM, and if you want to play Abzan ad nauseam, you don't do it with TIAM. Please. Okay. Yeah, I think that does it for us. I think we're ready to move to the last question. Man, we've been moving quick today.
Question number 3.
Number 3.
Number 3, my lord. All right, so...
What was that from? What was that reference?
Shrek.
We must...
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Shrek. Do you love me some Shrek?
All right, then.
Job done.
Yeah, see, that just makes me think of the peons in
No, that's
Warcraft.
literally what I was going for.
Yeah.
All right, then.
Okay, where's that from? Where's that from?
Warcraft.
It's from Warcraft.
Is it Warcraft? Okay.
2 and 3 will do that, yeah.
Yeah, both of them will do it. I think they recycled a bunch of the sounds for some of the units,
Probably.
like
In Warcraft
the
3,
peons
yeah.
and All right then.
Because I remember it from
Yes,
the
my lord.
henchmen in Impossible Creatures, and I don't think they ever actually say that, but that's what I always imagine. Whenever
that's
I hear
great.
That, like job done. So
Yeah, no, I used to
So I
play.
know if you haven't played Impossible Creatures, that game was sick.
I used to play a ton of Warcraft 2 with my dad when I was really young. It was a lot of fun. And then I remember hanging out at Zack's house, and we all have like a file rip for Warcraft 3, and we're all playing Warcraft 3 together. Which, by the way, I still have all those files. They are in the same drive that I have all of my other stuff in.
I'm gonna need to get those from you at some point because I miss me some Warcraft 3.
Dude, we should. We got to figure out how to do like a Warcraft 3 night.
That'd be sick.
Yeah, where is it? Yep. It's under a file that just says War 3 Frozen T. So I think it's also got the Frozen Throne expansion.
Frozen Throne, yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if you ended up getting that from me.
I think I did.
Because I remember one of our runs at the Reeds for Friday nights was just playing Warcraft 3.
Oh, yeah.
Different game mods.
Yep. Angel something.
Yep.
There was one with
there's tower defense games that we really liked for a bit there.
Yeah. Oh, good times, man.
Simpler lives.
Yeah, I'm gonna download this whole folder to my computer. Maybe see if it still runs. Anyway, it should. Dude, I'm gonna go off track in the middle of this because we have enough time to kill, and I don't mind. But do you know what game I wish I could find and I can't? It's like not on Steam. I'd have to delve through the internet to see if anybody has preserved it, because I'm very certain it's not on Steam. Let me do one last check to see if it is. But the game is called Cyber Strike 2. It was, let me see. Nope, that doesn't look like it. So it's not on Steam. Let me see if we can find out some history of it for you, because it was super fun. So came out in 1998. So a few months after I was born. Wow, the Wikipedia page has about that and nothing else.
Wow, what a game.
Yeah. Oh, wow, there's just a website called My Abandonware.
I just also found that because I was going to bring up a game that I really want to play again. It's called Dune 2000.
Oh, yeah?
It is set on the world of Arrakis where Dune takes place, and you can play as the different houses, and it's a real-time strategy game. So I'm also going to see if they have Black and White 2 on here. I don't know if you guys ever played the Black and White games.
No.
Those games were so much fun. So in Black and White, you play as a pseudo-Greek god, and you go around and you are a giant floating hand, and you can pick up people and move them around and designate them to do stuff. And it is so much fun. You get to like lay out roads. You get to design, like put buildings. You can either win places by conquering them, or you can just be like, "Hey, my city's so much cooler than yours. You should move here." It is a lot of fun. I just wish that they had a PvP mode, because that would have been sick.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Cyber Strike 2 was really fun. It was basically you walk around in a little mech, like a two-legged mech suit. You could drop towers that would provide you with energy, and the more energy you had, the better you would fight. So you would have to like balance shooting your opponents with also shooting down their support towers and their sort of like chains and stuff like that. It was interesting. I really enjoyed it though. was one of those games I used to play a lot as a kid. That and Sid Meier's Pirates. Anyway, I think that's enough of a detour for now. Let's get back to the questions here.
Wait,
Well,
no, you
resolve the
guys
stack
remember
real quick.
backyard baseball? You guys remember backyard sports games?
I actually didn't play any of those.
You didn't play
Me
any of those?
either.
No,
Man,
dude.
my boy Pablo, that guy was the best at everything.
I played Pajama Sam.
Pajama Sam
Oh,
was so good.
dude.
And Putt Putt.
So
Oh,
good.
Putt
Putt
Putt,
putt. Oh man, I
Played a
love
lot of
putt
that.
putt.
Yes.
You guys
Putt Putt
remember
saves the
the Pop Tropica
Yeah.
games? Or not Pop Tropica, obviously Pop Cap games.
Top cap.
Yeah.
Not ringing a bell.
So Bejeweled was a Pop Cap game. One of like the original Match 3 games.
Yeah.
There was also one called Bookworm or something like that. There was like one of those bubble pop games where you like launch a bubble to match with like at least two others to create a pattern and blow them all up. There was one, but it was like dinosaur eggs.
Okay.
Yeah, lots of fun games back in the old Flash era.
Good time.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
All right, now we can go back to it.
Now we
Okay,
go back to our final
resolve the
question.
stack.
Yep, resolve the stack. Let's get back to it. So, third and final question comes to us from the EDH subreddit, and this is a bit of a discussion piece from user Danksy. It's like Banksy, but it's mostly weed-based. So, this user says, before you start pointing fingers, remember, some of the bracket guidelines are loose by design. So the post says, some of the bracket rules are hard, like not playing more than 3 game changers in a bracket 3 deck. If you call your deck a bracket 3 and play more than 3 game changers, you are cheating unless you ask your group in advance. That's a pretty hard call, Danksy, real quick, but we'll talk about that. Anyway, the quote, turns to eliminate rules, on the other hand, are just a rough target Wizards of the Coast made to help evaluate our decks. There are many situations where an honestly bracketed deck might eliminate a player faster than the bracket predicts. There is also room for reasonable disagreement within the pretty vague official descriptions of the brackets. Before you start raising your voice after a quick loss, ask yourself some of the following questions. Were there multiple aggro decks at the table, leading to damage adding up sooner than it would while goldfishing? Was there a group hug player that accelerated one deck more than the table? Was there less than the expected amount of interaction for the bracket? Was there a hate bear or stacks player who blanked your outs? Did another player have a good faith interpretation of the bracket guidelines that is different than yours? He says, I saw a recent post discussing whether a bracket 3 deck is allowed to win on turn 6 if other players haven't taken their 6th turn yet. I think this is a good example of where reasonable minds could differ. Was the winning player running something like Voltron, where the whole premise of the deck is to try to eliminate players before their value engine stabilize? Did the winning player simply draw their best hand? I know everyone has their horror stories about angle shooters and cheaters. It is offensive and thereby memorable for someone to try to take advantage of you. However, people don't like thinking of themselves as a bad guy, so it is rare that a person will consciously choose to be a bad actor like this. It is vastly more likely that the circumstances conspired to make the player win faster than they intended. Losing to something you think was unfair sucks, but I promise you will have a better experience if you approach these situations from a place of understanding rather than jumping straight to an accusation. So, a lot going on here in this post here, Banksy.
For sure,
Danksy.
a lot going on there.
What do you guys think?
Variance is a real thing. Sometimes you just have the god hand, and you're like,
Yeah.
here it is. Here it is. But I do agree. The bracket system is just a starting guideline. Like, I could have a deck with every single game changer known to mankind. It's still not going to be very good if my deck's not built around that.
Yeah.
Like, I could have 5-color good stuff and it's got all the game changers. It's not going to be very good bracket 4 deck. Just because it has the game changers doesn't mean it's going to be that good. Game changers are good in their own sense, but when they're built around them, like a bracket 2 deck and a bracket 3 deck don't really feel that much different, in my opinion. It's mostly like, do you have game changers or not, really?
Yeah.
But like overall, I think the gameplay aspect of it should be pretty similar in a 2 and a 3 bracket. Bracket one's more like I'm doing crazy things and we're all doing crazy things and this is my typal deck of whatever, or kindred deck of whatever, silly nonsense.
Yeah.
But I do like that he is bringing up different like scenarios of like, just because this deck killed me in 3-4 turns, like doesn't mean it's going to happen every single time with that deck. Like
Right.
it happens every so often. That's just magic.
Yeah. I love that he points out that, like, yes, there is the, quote, expected number of turns that these bracketed games should go, but there's also, 30,000 cards in Magic the Gathering. About 29,000 of them are legal to play in Commander. So
Right.
there's a great chance that there will be some variance in the turn-to-turn play and what's going to come down. Like, yeah, you're expected to be able to play 8 turns before somebody is first eliminated from the game, but also Jimmy over there is playing mono red with Jeska and Rograk, and nobody did anything about their Embercleave. So yeah, you got knocked out really fast. It's because you let him knock you out really fast. You didn't interact with him. So thinking back to the game and realizing what could I have done differently to push the game further or to not lose that game, because it's still probably a bracket 3 or a correct bracket for where you're at. The problem is you just didn't play the amount of interaction that the quote average game for that bracket would have.
Or, they just got the good hand and you got the bad one. Like they could have just like, oh, hey, look, I got the right cards to pop off with my Rograk and Jeskai, and then you didn't get any removal. It's like last Friday, I took my new Squirrel Girl deck for a run. And the first game, somebody else popped off. They killed us on like turn 7 or so. It happens. And then the second game, I got 3 Tree City and Seedborn Muse in play. And I'm like, well, if they have a kill spell, I just, don't do a whole lot. I looked out and had Heroic Intervention in hand, so I survived the first board wipe and then lucked out and top decked into Eternal Witness to get it back to save them again. But it's a thing where a lot of this comes down to that variance in Commander with those 30,000+ cards, that things are going to happen and it's not going to look fair and balanced, but that's just the luck of the draw.
Yeah, sometimes it just be like that,
Sometimes it do just be like that.
I went looking for one of the earliest infographics that got made back when the bracket system was sort of revamped and reworked, because I love this thing that they put around, like, the bracket 2 sort of core experience of Commander. The difference between a bracket 2 deck and a bracket 1 deck is a theme, right? A sort of idea, a focus that could be not good, it could just be a vague, ladies looking left, guys on chairs, shirtless people, whatever, right? That's
double-sided cards.
Double-sided cards, right? Like that's just kind of the crap that happens in bracket 1. The difference between bracket 2 and bracket 3 is staples, and those include things like the game changers or just great ramp pieces. Maybe instead of avoiding a certain card because it doesn't fit your theme, you still run it because it's a good card, and that's what pushes it to bracket 3. Bracket 3 to bracket 4, the difference is speed. The bracket 4 to bracket 5, the difference is the meta game, because then you're pushing into CEDH. All of these, of course, have their little, like, be able to play at least, 8 turns in bracket 2, 6 turns in bracket 3 before anyone wins or loses. And again, they're just vague expectations of what could happen in the game, because
or on
so much can
average
happen.
should happen in the game. Like
Yeah.
on average, like 10 games, you should have about that many turns. Like
Yeah.
or expect to see that many amount of turns. But that's not always necessarily the choice. Like if someone's playing an Alexios deck or a Slicer deck, the game's going to be a lot faster because the commander's built to do that.
Yeah.
And it's could still be bracket 2 by all legal definitions, but it's not going to be the long game that you're expecting unless you really hate out that one player.
Yeah, and with averages, sometimes there's longer games and sometimes there's shorter games, and maybe you just got one of the shorter ones. Because I've played CEDH games that have gone to like 10 turns before anybody wins or loses. It's a
Just 10?
grind fest. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
it's
just
a
10.
grind fest and it's crazy. But just because the game is, stronger and the cards are better doesn't mean that the game will be quicker necessarily. And on the other hand, just because the cards are worse doesn't mean the game will be longer.
Yeah. It all comes down to kind of that synergy thing, and then how much people interact, like we already talked about a little bit. Because if you got good synergy, you can have a bracket 2 deck that puts up a fight against a bracket 4 deck, or even sometimes a bracket 5 deck, just because you got good synergy with your cards.
Yeah, and playing in a mismatched bracket doesn't necessarily mean that the higher bracket's going to win all the time either.
Nope.
I mean, I've seen multiple times where four people will sit down to play, three of them say we want to try CEDH, and the last guy's like, "Well, I don't have CEDH, but I have this deck that's pretty good, and it's like dinosaurs or something." And these poor CEDH decks get unlucky with their draws, don't get their engines out in time, and end up getting overrun by a bunch of dinosaurs that they weren't prepared for. It can
Or
happen.
the CDH players deal with each other enough that the dinosaur deck gets to get its feet under it, and then the dinosaur deck goes, "You can't stop me because you're not optimized for dealing with a creature heavy deck."
Yep, there's just...
That's why whenever I sit down to a game with people that are like, "Oh, we're gonna play CDH," and the fourth guy's like, "I don't got CDH," I'm like, "Play your one that goes the biggest, the fastest and the hardest, because that can just win games if somebody fails to win the game on the CDH side of things."
Yeah, I would say, I want to ask you guys, we are like close to over a year now, or nearly a year and a half, right, since the bracket system was created.
Mhm.
Do you feel like it has been a net positive for all of Commander, CEDH and casual included? Do you feel like this bracket system has made the game better to play with strangers or worse? Because I'll clarify that this system was put in place to help people play with strangers, with random players at game stores or conventions, right? Where you don't really know how to determine each other's power level, so they created this bracket system. So, do you think like this is a good system? Do you think like it has improved the game overall?
I genuinely do. I think so. Yeah. I think it's nice to have not just everyone saying it's a 7, it's a 7, it's a 7.
Yep.
It's nice to have kind of expected, understandable guidelines that
It
everyone can
does.
kind of see. And
Yeah.
like, this is what I expect to see and have happen. And then I don't feel as bad if that doesn't happen. Kind of like what Danksy was saying about where looking at the different scenarios of why this game went faster or why this game went slower or why it felt like maybe this deck felt like a different bracket. Like
Yeah.
understanding those kind of scenarios, but like being able to come into it with a general idea of what you should be expecting. Like when I come into a table and say, "Oh, this is all bracket 1," I know I'm not going to expect like anything well done. It's all going to be like silly, crazy things. And so having that like general start of the rule 0 conversation is really nice to have.
Nate, what's your thoughts? You feel like the Commander bracket system has overall been a good thing for Commander? Or
I
not?
think it has overall been a good thing for Commander to keep the honest people honest and send the spotlight out to people who are trying to be a little bit sneaky or a little bit rude with how they do that. Overall, I think it has been a good thing of having the bracket system to have a starting point for the discussion about Deck's power level and things. And then you can kind of figure it out from there. So that's a big problem with the system of the 1 through 10 is the fact that you just would go, "That's about a 7," where most of the
You
time
mean the
people were
7
probably at
system?
a 5. Yeah, the 7 system where everything is a 7 unless you're like playing CDH and they're like, "It's a 10."
And then it's like an 8.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, the old bracket system, the old power level system was such a nightmare. Nobody could
Hot
agree.
garbage.
Everything was a 7. All the CEDH decks were 10s or not real commander. It was
Yep.
bad.
Although one of my commander hot takes is I feel like CDH, while it is still commander, should have its own thing to go along with it. There's problem cards for CDH that are not problem cards anywhere else. Playing more in tournament settings and with people who are playing at tournament level with like Zack and other people who, that's what they like doing is playing CDH. I'm like, yeah, Ristic Study kind of is a little bit of a problem in CDH.
It's a pretty good card.
But I have not really seen it be a super huge problem in lower brackets because I feel like in lower brackets, people respect it more than they do in CDH.
Like a bracket 3 Ristic Study is completely different than a bracket 5 Ristic Study.
Right. And so I don't agree with getting Ristic Study banned all across Commander because CDH is abusing it at the moment. So I feel like kind of CDH having its own, like, banned in CDH would be a potentially good extra bit to add on to the Commander ban list if we want to keep them as one thing.
Yeah, I certainly prefer to have one unified ban list because I think the Play to Win guys mentioned it, that like the point of CEDH isn't to be its own singleton competitive format. It is to play Commander at the highest possible level, whatever Commander is. Right? And so if the broader Commander audience decides that actually nobody likes Ristic Study anymore, then CEDH will move on from Ristic Study, right? If the broader Commander, format decides that other cards are problems, CEDH adapts to them. And I don't think that bans specifically for CEDH are a good thing unless it's a ban like Flash that didn't affect normal Commander players at all. It only affected the CEDH crowd. So I think when I first read up on the bracket system when it was announced, I was very much against it. I felt like they had basically just created two ban lists, and it was going to be tricky to keep track of each ban list, right? There were the things that were hard banned, like Primeval Titan and Golos, all those different cards, but then there were the soft banned cards, like Enlightened Tutor, Demonic Tutor, Force of Will, Cyclonic Rift. Now all of those cards were sort of soft banned, and if you played them, then everybody would, make you feel bad because you're playing a game changer now. Over time, I will admit that I think everyone has used it well. I think the bracket system has been a net positive, especially when it comes to, playing with strangers and playing with people you don't know how they play. It's a good system to kind of determine how everybody wants to play. And I think that the people who have a dedicated play group to play Magic with are going to do with the bracket system like they did with anything else in the Commander rules, and that is, if they want to change it for themselves, they will. Right?
Yep.
If a play group wants to ban Ristic Study as a house ban, they will. If a play group decides that silver bordered cards are fun, actually, and they'd like to legalize all of them, they can. There's nothing wrong with that if they're just doing that as a house rule, right? And the same was with the bracket system. If a house rule says that they are ignoring the limit on game changers in bracket 3, they can do that. That's totally fine. Or if they're just not going to consider their decks by the bracket level at all, they can do that too. So I think that the goal of the bracket system to create a dialogue between players of where they want to play at with people they've never played with before, I think it did exactly what it was going for. And for that, I commend them because that could not have been an easy task. And the system is not perfect, but it is much better than what we used to have, and that is worth commending them for.
Live your life. Don't let Big Magic tell you what to do. Play how you want to play. This is a game. Have fun with it.
Exactly. If you and your buddies decide that everybody gets...
Stick it to Big Magic.
If everybody gets silver bordered cards now, then it's cool, right?
Viva la revolution!
Although
the silver bordered revolution will happen.
I do wish
Me
that,
and Ben Brode will spearhead it.
how how Wizards of the Coast now almost always in June does their Pride Partners event, where like two
It's
commanders
so
can be
good.
considered can have partner. I wish they would do that in April with like 2 weeks of silver bordered cards being legal. You know?
It's true.
Oh, there
Around
you go,
April
like an April
Fools.
April
Yeah,
Fool's event.
I
That'd
think
be
that would
fun.
be a lot of fun to just
I like
briefly legalize all silver bordered cards.
I really like when Wizards does those kind of sillier events of like outside of the typical scope of Magic. I think they're a really good way of mixing things up and like lets you have a creative moment of like, oh, these two commanders would be pretty cool. Like, what would happen if they were a partner pair? And
Right.
like, what kind of deck can I build with that?
It is so much fun. I had so much fun with Frodo and Smeagol getting tempted by
Frodo
the
and
ring all
Smeagol.
day long and stealing everybody's lands. It was so much
That's so
fun.
good. Yeah, it lets you have that creative juice of like something you can't typically do in Magic, and then now you can. And how does that look? How does that work? How does that exist? And it's so much fun to figure that out. Like part of the best parts of Magic is brewing up
Yep.
decks and figuring out how to cut your 9,000th card in your deck and trying to figure out what you're getting rid of for this new one. And you're like, this is the worst, but
This is the worst, but I really want to play this cool new card.
yeah. The 101st card is always the hardest card to find space for.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this thing on? I think so. I guess I should record this in case it's found. Hi, I'm Carol Cauldrons, reporter for Planeswalker Newsnet. News from across the plains. I'm stranded here on Ixalan. I was knocked out in the rush to get to the transport craft. It looks like they ended up leaving me behind. Not that I blame them. I would have done the same. It seems I'm trapped here on the plane. I was going to take note of any supplies I have left and maybe try to seek some shelter. Things seem to have calmed down now that the blood sun is over, but I'm not sure how long I'm going to be stranded here. It's day 3. I've found a water source, so that's good. It's about the only good thing as of right now. I was lucky enough to find some food brought by the PAs, but that ran out a day ago. I'm scared of being caught by the locals. We had a small security detail with us for the broadcast, as we were told the locals can be hostile. I'm not sure what I can eat on this humid nightmare, or more importantly, what is going to eat me. From the dinosaurs to the vampires and pirates, I'm doomed if I come across any of them. It's day 5, and I'm so goddamn tired of this humidity. I bet you didn't know this, but just before I traveled here, I treated myself to a nice little blowout in style, and now my hair is nothing but a frizzled mess. I don't even know what to do with myself. The food situation has gotten dire, to say the least. I've resorted to eating bugs and such that I find under rocks, and fish when I happen to come across them in the streams. I did make a friend, though. While I was looking for a new spot to dig up some bugs, I stumbled across a little nest with some eggs in it. 2 of the poor little fellows were already being eaten by some kind of small raptor dinosaur-looking thing. I'm not sure what the hell I was staring at, but I shooed it away, and shortly after, the last of the remaining eggs hatched. It's been following me around for a little while, and this little guy's pretty cute. It's been a few hours. I think I'm gonna name him John. Yeah, I like that. Carol and John Cauldrons. It's day 10 and things are so much better. John and I have been working together really well. Sometimes I think he can hear my thoughts. I'll think, man, that's a nice big fish, but I don't have any way to get him. And John will just go in and get him. He's a hoot, I'll tell you what. Kind of reminds me of how John Crow used to be before the Zendikar invasion. I miss the news studio. I miss my family. If you guys are seeing this, I love you. Hope you all are doing okay.
Oh, all right. Well, I think that's all the advice we're going to help out with today. So we'll go ahead and move on to our end step. Just to update you all, what I mentioned at the top of the episode, I went and recorded an episode of MTG Unraveled, with Ryan and Rafa this weekend, so that was a ton of fun.
Yeah.
They are an absolute blast to record with, truly amazing people. We had a ton of fun. I won't tell you the theme or the cards we picked to overanalyze, but I will warn you that I once again took this as an opportunity when they talked about their current hyperfixations. I once again took this as an opportunity to rant about the death of Destiny 2 and how unfair it is.
That's fair.
Touche.
I did
was the
just
big
remember that we never talked about one of the funny haha things about the tournament
Oh, what happened?
that I was saving.
Oh, yes.
Do you want to guess my badge number?
69.
Good guess, but no, it was 420.
Nice!
Yep. So I had 420. I had a lot of people commenting like, man, because the Pro Soul
That's a
people
good
were
badge
there.
number.
And basically
They're all
every single
Ontario.
person that works at Pro Soul, they're like, man, it's too bad you're not a stoner, because that would have been so much funnier.
It
Yeah, I
would
got
have
the
been.
funny weed haha number.
Nice.
Oh, there were two people that regular or every so often go to Pro Souls game at the tournament, and it was
Yes,
super cool meeting them.
there's actually three of them. The
three
guy
of them,
who did
guy
the
who-
grinding station.
Yeah, he
That
was
guy
part of
also
that group.
comes.
Yeah.
I don't know him as
Yeah.
well as I have, because those guys are great. They come to pre-release, at least one of the pre-releases, basically every time.
Yeah, no, it was awesome meeting them and getting to learning Ralph as a new player is, and that deck is crazy to play against and crazy to play. So anyone taking on that endeavor is a hero in my eyes, well, a villain in my eyes, because I hate playing against Ral, and that deck is so good.
I can't
So,
wait
an
to have that put
anti-hero.
together.
Yeah, anti-hero. That's a great word for it, you know?
Because you like kind of look up to him, but you're like, that's not the best way to do it, friend.
Yeah, I respect the commitment, but I don't respect the players playing the deck, because that deck is horrible. I hate it so much.
Yeah,
It just
that
keeps,
deck
it
is
always
crazy.
wins. It wins.
That deck is so nuts. Like, most of the times I've seen it lose were because by some stroke of luck they didn't get the right flip, or
Yep.
they managed to somehow just not draw a thing that lets them keep going, which is wild because their deck is basically just things that help them keep going.
Like a more deterministic Nadu. Hate it, but
Yeah.
like, ah.
I can't wait to have it put together and try it out.
It'll be fun to play against.
Anybody else got anything?
I
I think we're good.
think the only fascinating thing that's going on with me is our little chickens that we hatched. Most of them are now spending time outside. Speaking of, after we're done recording, we're gonna need to make sure they made it back inside. But yeah,
How many
they're-
times have you gone outside and said, "Look at all those chickens"?
Look at all those chickens.
Look at all those chickens. Not a ton,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
ramp those numbers up. Ramp those
I gotta ramp
numbers
those
up.
numbers up. But they are pretty adorable. They don't know me as well as they know my little sister, so they still try and like run from me when I pull them out of their inside little house thing to take them outside. But then when they get outside, they're like, "Oh yeah, we're outside. Yeah," and they love it.
That's awesome.
So hopefully we'll be
They're
able to
so
integrate
cute.
them. Yeah,
I've
hopefully we're
scared
gonna integrate them
birds,
with the new one.
So
The-
when they're
with the-
babies, it's not as bad, but chickens are still scary.
Chickens are weird.
Dude.
Birds are scary.
I'm pretty sure I brought it up on the podcast before, but we have a chicken. His name is Cuddles. We thought Cuddles was a girl. Turns out Cuddles is not a girl, which we did pretty good. Out of the 12 chickens we got the first time around, only one of them was a boy. So works out in our favor. And Cuddles is no longer very cuddly.
Oh yeah.
Cuddles does his job well, keeps the ladies safe, which is good, but also he needs to prove that he can keep the ladies safe from you. So Cuddles will randomly just charge you. You kind of just have to stare at him and go, "You done?" And then he'll just be like, "All right, whatever. You're not trying to fight me, so it's cool. I am the head chicken." And then he'll start screaming, doing the rooster crow, and go on with his day.
You see, in that scenario, the chicken will win because I will be too scared to fight back. I
You know
will
what they
crawl
don't
into a
tell
ball and hope it doesn't
farmers don't want you to know this, but chickens really not that much bigger than a soccer ball. So
They're not.
just
Oh, no.
move those suckers.
If I have had times where if I'm having a bad day and I'm just trying to get something done in the yard and Cuddles will chase me, I will get in a standoff with the chicken and I will just be like, "All right, I'm going to be the big bad chicken today." And I just got to like kick him with my foot.
Yep.
You don't kick them hard.
Nope.
You just give a nice little kick with the foot, kind of like, if your sibling's being a little mean and you're like, stop it, a gentle kick to remind them who you're there and you can do stuff.
For me, the boss music would start playing and I'd get scared. Like, this is it. This is the moment my run's over.
Gotcha.
Life is good. I did what I could.
So Zack, now we found a way to keep you in the pit. Surround the pit
100%.
with birds.
When we went to Mexico, there were pigeons like coming to get like the food, and I got scared.
Oh.
I started crying.
Wow. Okay. I mean,
I don't like birds.
that's fair. Birds are a little creepy.
I like some birds. Like, I think like videos of parrots being absolute dorks, like those are so cute and I love them. But sometimes I'm like, I'm good without birds.
I would love to be the crow guy.
Right?
Just have a flock of crows around. It'd be so cool because we have hawks and stuff, and our older chickens are big enough that the hawks don't mess with them at all. But I have seen a hawk flying around where our little chickens are, and we have a run that has got a bird net on top of it. So even if the hawk wanted to get to the chickens, he can't. If that happens, then I guess I get to take up falconry because that bird's going to get stuck in that net and it's going to get itself hurt, and I'm going to have to nurse it back to health or something. But crows would be a lot of fun to have around. They're smart. They're friendly. They have community stuff. Yeah, you can trade them some shiny things you don't care about for some shiny things they have.
That is true. Little trinket trade.
Trinket trade. And if I lived in town, I could train them to bring me coins, and it'd be great.
Steal dollar bills from people.
Yeah. So
fantastic. An army of crow making us money is, frankly, the only way to survive in this economy.
For real.
There you go. I always like making carrier pigeon jokes, like sending things by carrier pigeon.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, that is the only way we allow you to communicate with the outside world at this point, so.
That's true.
Understandable.
You got to get you to go overcome your fear if you really want to send that message.
My bird fear. Yeah. How much do you really want to send that message?
All right.
To interact with a pigeon.
Yep. All right. Well, I think that'll do it for us today. We want to thank you all for coming and joining us on this episode. It's been a blast. If you have any questions that you want us to answer, go ahead and send them over to us at manabonded@gmail.com. We'll take any and all advice scenarios you want help with, either a weird social interaction, some deck advice, or just some rules questions that you're still not quite sure why they work the way they do. Go ahead and send them over to us and we will do our best.
Hey, it's me. My name is Zack. I have a back, and that's all I got. If you like music, check me out. But if you like better music, check out SteveBrownSongs.com. Steve Brown does our music at the beginning and at the end of our podcast. If you like it, hit him up and check out his other songs that he has done.
Heck yeah. And if you like art, I could draw you something, but it'd be okay, but not near as good as the art done by Shadow Aclepex. It is the art you will see all over all of our social medias, basically everywhere. If you want to find his art, you can find the link to his pages in the show notes on basically everywhere.
Absolutely. We have a link tree. If you want to follow us on our social media channels, you can find all of our links there on that link tree. You can find our YouTube, our Instagram, our Twitter, our BlueSky, our TikTok, and many other locations are all on that link. If you are listening on YouTube, be sure to like, comment, subscribe. If you're listening anywhere else, leave us a review on that app and leave us a review on a few more apps just to show your appreciation and your love. We want to thank you guys all so much again for listening, and we will see you guys next week.
This is when the music starts playing and we say bye.
Bye-bye.
Yep. Here it goes. Bye-bye.
And we fade into existence.
And King T'Challa was doing work.
It is also antithetical.
Antithetical?
Yeah.
Antithetical.
Antithetical to the entire time I've been drafting week to week. Now, I chose
That's a big word for Elmo.
It's a very big
word.
We're fading away, but it sounds
Oh,
really cool because
no.
there's music
You've
happening at
already
the same
faded.
time. You don't even hear this part. You can't even hear me right now, but it's there. Ooh.
It's already faded away. You're gone.
No, don't fade me yet. Don't let me go, Jack. Joe, don't let me go, Josh.
Don't let me go.
Please. Don't let me go into the ocean.
Don't let me go.
The iceberg. Don't let the iceberg hit us, Josh.
Yeah. What do you think, Nate?
I think he's thinking
Nate?
a lot right now. He's thinking so much.
Oh no.
There's so much thought. The brain power, the synapses are going. Okay, this is going to be the best take about the bracket system you've ever heard in your entire life right here. He's currently sculpting his response to our viewers right now. And he's going to be able to read it off to you once he's done thinking. He could become the next thinker, even. He will start pondering and thinking like a statue. He's still not here. What is happening?
Nate?
Nathaniel?
Nate, you good,
Nathaniel, to the
buddy?
principal's office, please. Nathaniel,
Nate.
to the principal's office, please.
Oh, Nate died.
It's okay. He'll come back. He's got 9 lives. You gave him your 9 lives card.
Oh, there it is. I knew that one was coming.
Womp, womp. I think his Wi-Fi probably died out.
Probably. Quick warning for the last blooper. It is a lot about poop. Like, a lot of poop talk. It's the last one, though. So if you're done listening and you don't want to hear it, that's fine. Just don't, and you won't miss anything. Sorry. Okay, side note. I have to step away. I'm getting emergency texts from my wife that she is in the bathroom with no toilet paper.
Oh, okay.
So,
it happens to the best of us.
We'll step away and probably, just cut this part of the podcast.
Well, maybe.
Maybe.
Blooper.
Maybe.
Blooper,
All right.
blooper.
I'll be right back.
Emergency, no TP.
Sitting on the toilet. Sitting on the toilet. Sitting on the toilet. No TP. I have a bidet, so that's pretty nice. Bidets are
I kinda wanna get one.
life-changing. You should. It is. I hate pooping anywhere of the snot with my home because I have a bidet here and I like it.
I mean, I just don't really like pooping in general.
That's true. I feel very vulnerable when I'm pooping. It's not the pooping part that really gets me. It's the farting part. I feel like it makes a lot of noise, and then people are like, "This guy's pooping in here."
There is a lot of noise. I think it's just like the thing. Like I don't like the sensation, the stuff. Then also like if you don't have a chance to go poop for a while and you get kind of backed up a little bit and then you poop, you're just inside feels so empty.
It hurts.
Yeah.
Those poops where you really get your booty hole burning.
Yep.
That's when the bidet is like chef's kiss. Nice soothing cool water. Nothing better. All our listeners out there, please get a bidet. Highly recommend. Zack certified.
I have not.
This product has a Zack 2 thumbs up.
I have not had my booty hole touched by a water fountain, but from what I've heard from everybody's had one, it's pretty great.
I've had Poseidon's kiss before. It's when you have a dookie and it drops and then it shoots back up a little bit. The water is like, and it's like Poseidon's kiss on your booty hole.
I've definitely had Poseidon's kiss.
It's like a Poseidon's kiss, but on purpose. And
on
poop
purpose.
Water. It's water that was pre-poop.
Nice. I have a friend who I'd sent some of the funny. So there's an artist that does art for Brandon Sanderson and stuff like fan art, and she did funny romance novel arts of his books and changed the name to Sandra Branderson. This is like a funny haha. And I send it to him like, are these? And she's like, are these AI? And I'm like, no, they're not. They're like actual legit art done by somebody, and they just changed the name for giggles. And I'm pretty sure this person's also done official art that go in some of Brandon Sanderson's books / other things.
That's so cool.
Yeah. I have a couple of them set up for custom sleeves just because I think they're hilarious. But yeah.
I love you too, Josh. Oh, he wasn't talking to me. He was talking to his wife. Needed
He's talking to his
toilet paper.
wife, which
Classic.
I'm pretty sure he loves more than you.
I would argue that. I
You know, if somebody told me they love me more than their significant other, I'd be like, go work on yourself a little bit, please.
yeah.
I'm flattered that you like me a lot, but also you got different priorities that you should be doing.
That is fair. That is fair.
It's like the people who have a significant other, they're like,
Okay, I'm back.
I don't even really like them anymore. It's like, then why are you still together?
Why are you with him?
What's going on?
Welcome back. We had a good
Zach heard you
discussion
say
while
I
you were
love
gone.
you, and he's like, I love you too, and you didn't say anything. So we're talking about how it would be weird if you love Zach more than you love your wife.
Yeah, it would be very weird and uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
I had to break it to you, Zach. Well, I do love you, but I love my wife
Aw.
way more. So,
That is fair. That is fair.
and like, no offense,
That's okay.
but she is hotter.
We did have a good poop discussion as well. So
Oh,
We
yeah.
did.
if you want to
Yeah,
throw that in there.
we'll see. We'll see.
Nice.
I told my wife
Poseidon's
she's going to
kiss.
be in the blooper reel, so we'll see.
Poseidon's kiss.